Hi guys, this is Ola from Cardbond. In this video, we're going to be taking a step further with our Xbox Series X controller pad. And right now, our assignment is going to be to create sketches that would be used to help us achieve the proper feature for this controller pad. So just to show you what I mean, I go over here and let's open, for example, reference image 9 view. We do observe that the casing of the controller pad is cut in several parts, so that's actually what we would be doing with our sketches, just to improve the features and the end result of the controller pad. Alright, so to do that, we are going to be inserting a few canvases and utilizing them to create the sketches which we would need. And to begin, I would like to say I have modified my controller pad slightly, and I did that here, creating edits. And if I bring up my canvas, the side plane canvas, what I did was I simply moved one of these spline lines to align with the canvas line here that cuts the controller pad. And the purpose of doing that is so that I don't have to create a sketch to do that again, since I noticed that the software kind of created a face using this line for me. So I just decided, I would just edit that and save myself the stress. So that line now is this line. So we have a face here and a face here. So that's fine. However, I will be inserting other canvases and using them to create the rest of our features. So to begin, I would say insert canvas. And I would look for, I need canvas 9. Let's see, I need canvas 9. I think I have this already, canvas 8. Alright, so I guess I just need canvas 9. Alright, so I go over to 9 and insert this. Insert this on my top plane. So let's make the bodies invisible, origin visible, XY, and I choose my XZ plane. Please toggle visibility. Yep. So image 9 on this plane, and that's what we have here. So it's in the wrong direction, I suppose. Yeah, so we rotate this 90 degrees and also increase the size of this just a little bit, but we would still create calibration for this. So for now, we have this. Alright, so to create our calibration, I would simply say, let me take a look at the top plane and calibrate. So I'm simply going to copy the extreme dimension for this part, and that's 153. So I do the same here and calibrate. So we use this. It's good. I hold on to my control button, click on my scroller and move, and that's here, 153 millimeters. Very simple. Yeah. But it's kind of not positioned properly, but that's easy to do. So I'll just rename this as bottom plane. Then I would right click and say edit canvas I make my body visible so I can see where I'm moving it to. So I'll just drag this and kind of place it somewhere that seems good enough. I guess this is good enough. Alright, so this looks okay. And okay. I suppose we can notice something here again, that here we have these changes, like the model we have is a little bit larger than the canvas, so we probably would change that. All right, so in the meantime, what we'll have to do is I would pick on my model, this, and say edit. And the reason I'm doing this earlier on is because we are going to be using the reference of the freeform, or let's say the solid, to create some of the sketches that we would need. And it is important to ensure that the freeform or the solid is already good enough to proceed with. Alright, so what you would notice here is that with my own work, I simply edited the crease that was placed here. I probably shouldn't have done that earlier on. I should do it now, but I uncreased what we had here, which was, let's say, crease, which was this. Scroll. So we had something like this earlier on, but what I've done is that I've uncreased that. And the reason for uncreasing that is because in looking at the reference images, we also have a smooth transition at that point, which is not actually sharp. So if I go over to view, so you notice here we have a smooth transition from the bottom face to the front face. I guess I'll call it that. Yeah, so that's what we did. So I just uncreased some of them. It's a little bit complicated, but it should work. And after uncreasing that, the next thing I did was just to move these lines. Let's see them, 1, 2, and 3. To move them inwards just a little bit. So I moved them here, they were somewhere around here, so I just dragged this to move around. So you could also do that, and it's just a little bit of offset, so it shouldn't be something massive. Alright, so with that, I'll move down. Let's see what to do. I guess this is okay. Finish form, and then we can begin creating our sketches. Alright, so firstly we would make use of this bottom plane here, and so what we would do, I would hide the body because it's not important right now. Create a sketch and select this plane, the XZ plane. Very simple. I will simply trace out this cut here using the fit point spline. Select from this point. Okay, so I have my grid. Snap on. No, it's not on. Alright, so I would select from that point and over here this way, control, roller, and drag, and we have the first spline sketch. It looks okay, so I create the second one somewhere here. I'm not creating a mirrored feature right now because I don't really trust the symmetry of this. So I would rather just do it this way, or I guess using a mirror is going to be better, because if we take a look at the body we have, it should be symmetric. Alright, so using a mirror is going to be better. So I'll just say construction line, escape, and mirror this, mirror line this, and okay. Alright, that's better. So we do that and finish the sketch. So I would call that sketch, let's see, bottom cut. Alright, and then next we would be creating a sketch here, and the sketch we're going to be creating here is going to be used to cut this face. And the reason why we'll be cutting out that face is because taking a cue from our reference files again, if you notice, let's say this view, we observe that the top face extends a little bit into this part. Yep, so we would be cutting this face here. So I'll just create a sketch for that. And my intended thickness for the surface is going to be, let's say, 1.5 millimeters. So that's what I'll be doing here. So I create a new sketch and select on this plane. Alright, I go over to, okay, I guess I haven't selected my plane. Alright, so I go over to create and project. I'll project this line. Alright, and say okay. Create an offset for this line. The offset is going to be 1.5. So you need to be careful to make sure that your offset is coming downwards and not upwards, because sometimes it gets a little bit messy. So I'll do this, create this sketch, and then I'll make this projected sketch construction line. Alright, so I haven't done that. The next thing would be to just close up what we have here. Closing it up is not going to be complicated, so I'll just select from the first point. I select something I think cuts through this guy, this point here. It's a little bit weird, but I will just do this. Alright, so I'll repeat the same process at the other side. Let's say here and this way. Check. Then I'll create a tangential constraint between both splines and repeat the same process at the other side. I guess I really should have just done a mirror feature, but that's fine. So with that, I can say finish sketch, and so I would call the new sketch, let's call it face cut 2. I have no idea what to call it. Alright, so that's good. And then also we would create another sketch. So if we go back to the reference images, we have here reference image 18. So we notice that here we have a cut. Okay, this is not a good reference. This. So we notice that here we have a cut within that allows us to have some inserted buttons. So we would be doing that also. So what the sketch we're going to create right now is going to be for this cut here. And we could also create a cut for this part, I guess. Yeah. Alright, so to do the first one, I would make the front plane visible and navigate over to that view, which is here. And then what we would do is I would create a sketch. Remember that the controller canvas we used is a little bit different from the model we are creating. I guess due to perspective, like I said earlier. So we're just gonna ignore some of the discrepancies that might occur. Alright, so for this we go over to create sketch. Yeah, so I'm creating a sketch on this front plane, and then I go to projects, and then I project this entire face. Alright, so projecting this entire face. Alright, so now I can create a spline to trace out the cut which we want here. So for me to do that, first of all, I think I'll create a line this way. Alright, and to make the line a little bit symmetrical, I'll make this construction line, and then symmetry, this point, and this line. Alright, so create a spline, and I would create the spline from this point here going over to this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright, so accept, and then I create this, a tangential constraint between both, so that's good. This is exceeding the shape of the controller, so that's not going to be acceptable. Hence I will try to adjust this here. Let's just see what could be done. So I'll just try to adjust this here some way, just like this. Alright, and then I'll also create tangential constraint between this and this. Alright, I guess that solves it. And move over to the other side. Since we've created symmetry, and hopefully the symmetry can work perfectly, I'll just use a mirror tool for this and select this. Let's see how that works. So I guess it works fine. Yeah, it does work fine. Alright, so that's good. And then what we do here is I would create an offset for what we have here. So I switch off the chain selection because I don't want to include these entities here. I select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This way, and I move it in also by 1.5. So we have to ensure that it's going inwards and not the other way. So I would say okay. And then lastly, I would convert these bottom parts which are not needed to construction lines. With that done, I can say finish sketch and rename that to be front face cut. Alright, so we have all of these. I would edit this sketch here, edit you, go to the bottom face and make the bottom plane visible. I would make the bodies invisible so I could trace out this part here. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll create a line this way, 1, 2, 3. Doesn't seem perfect, but it'll work. Then I'll create a fillet here. This is too large, so let's just say something like 1.5, which is good enough. And then a the next thing to do would be, let's see, I would also have to create something here. So I would use the spline tool. I guess it makes it far easier. So let's just say we have this check. Apply tangential constraints 1 and 2. Alright, and I'll just create dimension between this and this. I'm not really going to change it, so I'll just leave it the way it is. And also this and this. Alright, next will be to mirror. So we would mirror what we have here. 1, 2, 3, and our fillet. Mirror line, still this line, and okay. Alright. Unfinished sketch. Alright, I guess that's all we need to create for this. And with all of this done, I would say that that is the end of this video. In the next one, we are going to be creating our offsets, and then we'll begin to make the shells and utilize all of these sketches to give us a very good looking controller pad. So thank you for sticking around, and remember, if you are yet to subscribe to this nice channel, don't forget to do so. It takes you about just 2 seconds, and I really appreciate if you can give me the gesture of your support. Alright then, this is all for now, and I'll see you in the next one. Hi there, if you liked this video, you can give it a thumbs up by clicking on the like button, and if you are yet to subscribe, it takes you just about 3 seconds to click on the button and select the notification bell so you get updates when new uploads are made. Alright, that's all for now. See you in the next video.